Hello, friends. If you're new, welcome. Why don't you go down and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes? Welcome back to my fans and subscribers. I really do appreciate you. Today I'm going to be talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, natural theology, and the Bible. Not much else I need to say. Let's get on with the video. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that mankind can gain accurate knowledge of their place in space and time through investigating the universe and through revelation and study of history. Why then does the scientifically sound theory of evolution seem to threaten their very existence? As to the first point, investigating the universe, they stress Paul's statement at Romans 1:20, stating God's invisible qualities are clearly seen through creation. Something that is invisible cannot be clearly seen. This is an oxymoron, unless there's a translation error, which there may be because I don't speak Greek. This has a built-in presupposition that the world we perceive is real, one in which they embrace wholeheartedly. Thus, they reject all other systems of thought, like Hinduism or Christian Science, that teach that only the mind or the spirit is real, not the physical universe. In terms of their thoughts on the material world, they are in step with mainstream Western thought and with Jewish and Christian thought in holding that God himself literally made matter. Thus, it is real. However, they do not believe this knowledge is sufficient for salvation. Something more is needed, and they reason this something more is the Bible. According to them, it is historically and scientifically accurate, it is internally consistent, and its prophecies have been fulfilled. If you have read the Bible on its own terms, you will find that none of this is true. They also believe the Bible to be inspired and inerrant, defining the scriptures as Protestantism does, particularly the Reformed churches and the Church of England. Thus, they accept 66 books, relying on Jewish tradition for the Hebrew and early church for the Greek. Also, they deny the inspiration of apocryphal books. To a certain degree, these place them in the Protestant and fundamentalist camps, but there are differences. For example, they did not adhere to the KJV only stance in their early years, and they generally accept edited texts of scripture based on ancient texts from men such as Westcott and Hort. Even though Watchtower has always had an interest in textual criticism, this is not for scholarly purposes. Instead, Watchtower wants either to overturn traditional beliefs of Catholics and Protestants or to prop up their own beliefs. To buttress their own beliefs, they have made their own quote-unquote translation. There are a few expressions I'd like to talk about. A Catholic theologian, Hans Küng, admits that nowhere in the New Testament is there mention of God himself becoming incarnated. It is always God's Son who becomes a man. The identification of the Son with the Father is stressed by transferring divine attributes. Nonetheless, the New World Translation's translation of a God in John 1:1 is inadequate and can be better expressed as divine. However, the translators were highly dishonest in substituting torture stake for cross and inserting Jehovah into the New Testament. Stauros can be translated as stake, but there is no basis for throwing in the modifier torture. In addition, Watchtower's contention that there is no evidence of Jesus being crucified on a cross is simply not true. Although the Romans did use upright stakes for crucifixion, at this time crosses were much more common. As for inserting the name Jehovah into the New Testament, which isn't his name anyway, it is a case of special pleading. Not one ancient manuscript found to date contains it, either in the form of the Tetragrammaton or any other independent form of God's name found in the Hebrew Bible. However, these egregious dishonesties are not the worst. In my opinion, the worst features of the New World Translation is the biased way in which certain passages are translated in order to legitimize witness practices and teachings. A far less concerning area is its use of awkward English. It might be useful to look at interpretive assumptions and methods of Russell, as Jehovah's Witnesses still use these today. Importantly, he did not begin with his own methods. He inherited these approaches that had been present in the West for centuries. Because he was raised Protestant, he accepted many tenets of the Reformation. These included that the Bible was the only source of necessary information for salvation. According to him, it explained God's dealings with man, law and grace, as well as the story of Christ, who will ultimately deliver mankind from sin and death. Also, while he believed that many scriptures were clear to a reasonable person, some sections, like prophecy, were harder to grasp. However, he felt that God would help true seekers by revealing such passages through spirit-directed human reasoning. In 1876, he stressed searching the scriptures for the key, and he made the same point, imploring his readers to ignore everything but the Bible. I've already explained why this won't work, but I will briefly explain it again. Different things have different meanings in different cultures and times. This means that one thing will mean one thing in one place and time, while in another place and time it can mean something completely different, which means you can misinterpret things based just on reading. In spite of this, his interpretive style was a mix of ideas borrowed from the Enlightenment, early Christianity, Judaism, and paganism. Yes, paganism. Mostly from Catholicism and American Protestantism. He also used allegories and typologies, such as types and antitypes, in his interpretations. In the strictly biblical sense, type refers to a person, event, or institution of the law that relates in some way to the revelation of God in Christ. The antitype, then, refers to the new reality in Christ. Thus, manna in the wilderness would be a type, and the true bread of life the antitype. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you would, Like to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this episode. If you wish to get in contact with me, the best way is Twitter, followed by email. Also, please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. If you have any requests, you can leave those in the comment section as well. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, stay safe and goodbye.